Hey everyone, welcome back on Gargi AI. Today, we are going to talk about one of the most significant conflicts of our time, the Russia-Ukraine war. It's been in the news non-stop, especially since February 2022. But the reasons behind it go much further back in history. So, let's understand it from the perspective of exams. We'll focus on the important events and highlights that are most relevant for your knowledge and preparation. The history behind the conflict. Ukraine and Russia have shared a long history, just like India and Pakistan. But the most critical event happened in 1991, when the Soviet Union broke apart, and Ukraine became independent. Now, what was the Soviet Union? The Soviet Union, or USSR, was a group of countries, including Russia and Ukraine, that worked together under a communist government from 1922 to 1991. It broke apart in 1991, and its countries became independent. After becoming independent, Ukraine had to make a crucial decision. Should it stay close to Russia, or move westward toward Europe? That decision shaped much of the tension between the two countries over the years. Russia takes Crimea. Fast forward to 2014, and things took a serious turn. Russia, under President Vladimir Putin, took control of Crimea, a region that belongs to Ukraine. This was a major violation of international law and started a chain reaction. After that, fighting broke out in eastern Ukraine, especially in cities like Donetsk and Luhansk. Groups supported by Russia started trying to take control, which made things even worse between the two countries. NATO and Russia's fears. Now, there's another critical piece to this puzzle, NATO. NATO is a defense alliance that includes countries from Europe and North America. Russia has always seen NATO as a threat, especially when countries like Ukraine showed interest in joining it. For Russia, NATO expanding closer to its borders was unacceptable. This became a major factor in the growing tensions, eventually leading to the 2022 invasion. Why did the war get worse in 2022? Over the years, Ukraine had been moving closer to Europe, signing deals with the European Union, and even pushing for NATO membership. Russia saw this as a direct threat. Putin claimed that his reason for invading Ukraine was to protect Russian-speaking people in Ukraine and to prevent NATO from further advancing eastward. Full-scale invasion. In February 2022, Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. This wasn't just an extension of earlier fighting, it was a direct and massive effort to take control of Ukraine and reassert Russia's influence in the region. How the war is affecting the world economy. Now, let's take a step back and see how this war is affecting the global economy. First, Europe's reliance on Russian oil and gas made the conflict much harder. With supply chains disrupted, energy prices soared, leading to shortages in households and industries. Food shortages. Ukraine and Russia are also major suppliers of critical food items like wheat and corn. With the war disrupting these exports, food prices skyrocketed, especially in countries in Africa and the Middle East. These regions now face serious food shortages and economic strain. Global recession risks. On top of this, the war has pushed many countries to the brink of recession. With rising inflation and growing debts, the world economy is becoming increasingly unstable, especially for developing nations. The human impact. But beyond the economy, the most tragic part of this war is the human toll. Over 8 million people have been forced to leave their homes and become refugees. Cities like Mariupol and Kyiv have been devastated, and the suffering is unimaginable. There's one important news for you all. Now you can get free PDFs of current affairs, daily news analysis and many more on www.gargi.ai. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe Gargi AI now.